Hello everyone, Ycoms here, and welcome to, well, the first a little bit more serious video about F1 2017. I think it was about time really for this channel to get back to the roots, really show a little bit of online gameplay. This is an AOR social I did last Sunday, I think it was. This was still on the 1.5 version of the game, so the latest patch where a couple of, things got addressed also regarding online are, those changes are not in the game at this stage, as I recorded the footage. But yeah, we are driving around Japan, Suzuka, in the McLaren. And don't be shocked about the video length, because I just wanted to, take the opportunity, show you as much gameplay as possible, because on a driver note, really, this race was definitely interesting to drive, I have to say. And also, just take the opportunity and talk a little bit about online, how I feel the game state is at the moment. And this lobby is actually quite a good example as well to address some issues, really. But let's put that aside for a moment, because I'm gonna leave you alone with this qualifying lap, because I actually think that this lap was pretty sick. Alright, we crossed the line with a 1:27.8. As I said before, lap felt pretty good, and the time was also, not bad at all. I'm not sure really what the difference is between, online and TT at this stage. But lap felt pretty good, taking pole position. Some known guys actually here in the lobby with from season 13 as well, with Max, Kalon, Fizzy, Marco FD in here as well. Falcon moving over from Xbox, Rico Gordon, this is Game Attack, and Pepito is actually, I think, Extra from season 8 on the Xbox 360, if I'm not mistaken. So if you remember him, then props to you, I guess. Moving on to the race, and it's gonna rain for the entirety of the race. The problem is, well, not the problem, but I haven't really done wet laps at all on this game before this session. I think that's the case though with most of the drivers in this lobby. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting start to this race, and to see how people will cope with these conditions. I should mention as well, this is the second attempt of actually starting this lobby, because on the first attempt, not everyone, but the majority of drivers lost force feedback after about 5-ish laps. So fortunately that is fixed now in the 1.6 version of the game. So that is definitely very good to see. And we're just skipping now forwards, because some people took very long with this formation lap. And here we go, round Suzuka in the rain. 5 laps we got, and they are out trying to fiddle around with the traction here. Full throttle at the end of third gear, I think it was. And pretty decent start. Max staying in second for the moment. It says on the screen that we're actually in second for some reason. I should mention maybe that Pepito or Extra is out of sync for many drivers in this race. For Falcon it was the case, for me it was the case, for Fizzy for example it wasn't. So, now we're back in the first position, interesting. But yeah, he was out of sync, and you will see a couple of examples later. That is something really, you know, that is an issue on this game, and is one of the worst things to happen really in online racing, really, if desyncing is happening. Especially it happens, I think, quite a lot in the bigger lobbies, and the risk is at least higher. And we got like one of the best hosts that you could get really around AOR with Falcon in this lobby here. So I guess it's not really that I don't think that is the problem really. It's just that, you know, that needs to be addressed, and I hope that gets a little bit better with the time. Apart from that, really, on PC itself, the lag is not that bad. I didn't experience too many lag incidents really yet, but yeah, the desyncing is definitely something which I noticed happens to some drivers with dodgy connections, and Xter might be one of these. Not quite flat through 130R here off the first lap. Maybe later if we get a little bit more commitment throughout the race, but yeah, at the moment it's really just about fiddling around and see what we can do. Seems like though we got over a second gap to Max after this first lap, which is pretty good to see. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave you alone really for the moment, and catch you at the next interesting point, I guess. Alright, coming towards the end of lap 3 now, trying to go full throttle through 130. No, not quite. Also, someone took out the 100-meter bolt there on the left-hand side, though that's definitely not gonna help at all for the next 24 laps. But yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty cautious really at the moment, especially into turn 1, 2, Degners, and 130R and Spoon as well. I think these high-speed corners really we can lose it quite severely, I think, sometimes. So yeah, you will see a lot of differences towards the end of the race in terms of commitment, I think. Anyway, skipping to the end of lap number 5. Oopala, that's a little bit of a moment there. Out of the pits. No, I didn't want to say out of the pits. Out of the chicane. There we go. Let's see what the gap is. Oh, that's actually Extra now setting a fastest lap, even though he's not you know, viewable on my screen. But yeah, he is around Falcon Max territory. Really seems like Falcon has pulled away from Max a little bit, and yeah, and skipping on to lap 7 now. Seems like the gap to Falcon stayed pretty consistently, actually. Oh, that's not gonna help though. A little bit maybe, you know, too cautious on the brakes, maybe. Also, maybe braked a little bit too late. But yeah, that's the first mistake of this race, and it's quite easy to do on this track in the rain, I guess. Just running way too deep into these corners, especially after you have so much commitment in the dry in this section. It's so much difference, really. But yeah, in general, I feel like the wet is also easier than on 2016, definitely. Especially on the traction and on the braking. Oh, that's not gonna help. That's the third warning already. That's gonna be a penalty. Very nicely done, Wycombs. Very, very good. But yeah, in terms of those two things, really, I feel like the wet is definitely easier to drive. The only thing that is definitely not that easy, really, is the steering input. You really have to control the wheel around the corners. Just don't turn in too much, and yeah, otherwise you just have major problems, as Falcon now sets the fastest lap. So it seems like guys behind us are picking up pace, which is good, I guess. I don't really want us to run away here with this race, which we have done in the first few laps, extending the gap to 3.5 seconds. Oh, here we go. This is actually Extra. There we go. This is a ghost car. As I mentioned before, he is desynced. And yeah, I'm trying, and I know this at this point already, so I'm just going to be very, very cautious with him here. Don't want to get into any troubles, and I think we're going to go up the inside here. Yes, we do. AI is not really that strongly set, I think, in this lobby. Maybe on Master or Expert even, I don't know. Anyway, we got rid of him. Obviously lost quite a bit of time, maybe at least half a second, maybe up to a second. But yeah, I just... you know, better go safe in these kind of situations, really. But yeah, the desync definitely not really gonna help. We're now skipping on to lap 11. There we go. That is flat out through 130R, but that was not good at all into the chicane. I think the 100-meter board is really, the missing 100-meter board is really, distracting. And these yellow flags, oh my days, they are annoying as hell. And they are there for the entirety of the race, in every single lap. And that's something they really need to fix. It also, you know, has potential really to cause many stop and go penalties, which are obviously not removable once you serve them in league racing. So yeah, I desperately hope that's also going to be addressed and fixed in the near future, because that is can be very annoying as very annoying as well, especially if you want to overtake someone in that yellow flag area and just get yellow flags for, I don't know, debris who just lies there for, I don't know, 20 laps or something. But anyway, having a little bit of a focus of the gap, you can see maybe in the mirror there, Falcon is coming round. So he has closed the gap quite significantly in these last couple of laps. As I think Nick Meadow is now in third position. I think Max has already pitted. And Extra, I think, has as well, if I'm not mistaken at least. So yeah, at the moment it's us two here up front. And he's definitely at the moment, he's a little bit faster, making a little bit of mistakes here and there. So definitely trying to get into the pits before him, trying to not get undercut and have the track position also after the pit stop, so we can, you know, pick up maybe a little bit of pace again. We are green here in this sector. Yeah, we're still at the stage really of improving our lap times. Remember, our first fast lap was a 45.4, and now we're already down to a 44.6. I think this is going to be even faster. This is going to be a 44.3 with the fastest lap of Falcon being even a 10th quicker. So we are definitely picking up pace. Definitely, you know, settle into this track. Also being a little bit more aggressive here on the braking into turn number 1. And yeah, now skipping to the end of lap 13, and I think this is the lap where I want to pit. 1.5 seconds, although there's PW letting us through very, very nicely. And yeah, Falcon is definitely not too far behind, a little bit more than a second. And now we're going into the pits, trying to control speed in the pit lane. I think they reduced the penalty this year really to a stop and go penalty, but still, we don't want to, you know, do that. There we go, Falcon in the pits in the Red Bull. And if everything goes right, we should not be jumped, especially since the pit stop times are also equal on equal cars now. But yeah, Falcon definitely not too far behind, a little bit more than a second. Nick Meadow has stayed out for another lap, and everyone else is really absolutely nowhere at this point, I have to say. And yeah, coming out of the pits in P number 3. Wait, that must be P2 because probably it says extra again in P1. That was very irritating at some point really when I tried to look at the standing on the top left. I was like, wait, why have I lost a position? Oh, that's why. Interesting. Anyway, oh, it's actually the arrows for the first time. I see arrows again after turn 1 of this race. But we're skipping to lap 15.
Okay, the safety car is out.
Oh.
The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace.
Okay, fair enough. Safety car is out. I don't know why, to be honest. I got maybe a little bit too close to the safety car period actually, but there was no one retiring in the last lap or two from the race, and suddenly we got a safety car out of nowhere. There were not even yellow flags on the track, I think, once it came out, so that was very weird. But it's good to have, you know, have the safety car tested, I think, in this lobby as well. Delta is there as well on the top right, so that's definitely good. Oh, that is someone staying on the track. And we're getting an illegal overtake on Exeter, on a ghost car, basically. And that's not good. That's not good at all. That's gonna give us a 5-second stop and go penalty. And yeah, if we want to win the race, that means we need to, you know, extend the gap. I knew at this point that the Falcon also had a penalty because the engineer told me, but obviously, you know, these 5 seconds also will get added towards the end, so definitely after safety car we have some work to do if we want to finish on the top, really. Obviously, you know, in a normal league race that penalty would get removed, but anyway, we are now at the end of the safety car period, and this is something which is, I don't know, I'm not really a fan of this. The game limits you to a certain speed, which is why I slowed down even more to a certain point, so that can actually be dangerous as well, really, but yeah, that's just how it is, I guess. Apart from that, I didn't encounter any issues with the safety car so far, so that's pretty promising. But anyway, I'm gonna leave alone again for the restart and see what we can do against Falcon and Max AFC very, very close behind at the moment.
So the gap to our teammate is 6.8 seconds. Fastest lap for the race.
coming towards the end of lap 20 now, flat out through 130 at this time. Gap to Max AFC behind is 1.1 seconds. So we're definitely gaining a little bit. 7 laps to go, and you can see the times are improving massively really in these after this restart. 43.1 already. It's crazy really. It's over a second faster than what we did in the first stint. So definitely trying to push as hard as possible really. We're trying to push the limits of these wet conditions here of this car in these last couple of laps. And here we go, lap 25. Oh, that's extra again. Hello, ghost car. Certainly interesting, really. This time we are catching him in a good spot, ready to overtake him. And there are no yellow flags apart from the start-finish line because of the debris, which still hasn't been cleared. Anyway, gonna, you know, just disregard that, I guess. Hopefully that will get fixed at some point. You can see on the top right, fastest lap 42.5 even, so we're almost 2 seconds quicker than what we did in the first stint. And we definitely keep extending the gap a little bit to Falcon. 3.2 seconds now at the end of lap 25, so that's definitely very, very, very good, I have to say. And but there's still, you know, 1.8 seconds to that 5 seconds we would need to, you know, secure the win. So that's I'm not sure if that's really possible, but we will try anyway, I guess, as we now skip to the end of Ubala. That's a lockup to the end of lap 26. We will start the final lap of the race. So we'll see what the gap is to Falcon now. Come on. 3.7, so we get another half a second that lap, but normally it shouldn't be enough. Coming to turn 1, no, barely missing the curb there on the outside. That could have been catastrophic, really. Lots of oversteer here as well, controlling that nicely though, and now into the S's. So much slower than in the dry. Really have to try to nail these apexes and to open up this corner a little bit more actually than in the dry. Here we go. That is very, very tricky traction zone here as well. Just short shifting into 5th. Coming through the Degners, down into 5th. Purple again in the first sector, so very, very good first sector here once again. 4.4 seconds to Falcon. Surely there must have been some mistake along the line again. So, we're actually getting closer to this 5-second limit, but normally over 2 sectors, surely not. Surely not, we would need another mistake really from him. We're also pretty limited on fuel here. We used quite a lot of fuel after the restart, which is also something I really, really like. You can finally use a little bit more fuel really in the rain again. You know, not like lean all the way, need to get better traction and stuff like that. It's not really like that on this game so far, or at least it's not that beneficial, I would say. It's, you know, easy standard and stuff like that, what you can do. But anyway, Purple again in the second sector, lost a little bit of time to our fastest lap, but still very good through 130. Yeah, that is exactly, that's pretty much spot on into the final chicane again without the 100 meter board. We kind of got used to that, and here we go. Out traction out of the final corner to cross the line, and it's gonna be a fastest lap at the end of the race. That's a very satisfying thing as well. And seems like that we are in P1. No, we are in P2. Wait. So okay. Well, I should explain something maybe. You will see it after the podium sequence, I think. So it says here Falcon has won the race. We're gonna finish in 2nd and Max in 3rd. But have a look at the penalties in the results screen, because that's an interesting one for sure. Stay drivers who do the champagne. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool as well. Finally, they implemented the podium scene as well online. I think it was there briefly on 2015 as well. I'm not sure, to be honest, but yeah, it's pretty cool to have that as well now. And also the flags in the background. Anyway, there we go. Have a look at the penalties. Falcon has got 8 seconds. I've got 8 seconds as well. So technically I should win, right? No? Okay, sure. On Falcon's screen, I won. That's interesting. On Fizzy's screen, I won. So I think on everyone else's screen, I won. Except on my screen, I didn't win. That's very weird, I think. Yeah. Apart from that, I don't know. Really weird glitch. Never encountered that before. Also, another glitch, which wasn't in the lobby in particular, but it was, I think in a 25% race, got I got blue flags on the first lap and got a 5-second stop and go penalty for that as well. So that was very, very weird. Apparently that happens a little bit more often as well. So yeah, like, I don't know. Then, like, connection wise, you can't really improve too much on the game really, because it is just not compatible, or, you know, they're not allowing dedicated servers. So if it's just, you know, bond to one single host, then, you know, there's limited quality really in terms of lag and stuff like that. But in terms of all these small glitches which are still there around there, hopefully they will get fixed. I'm pretty certain they will get fixed. It's just a matter of time really. And yeah, I mean, this social was fun. The other socials I did so far were also fun, but obviously still interrupted a little bit by these glitches. That has been it from this video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and me, you know, maybe talking about it over it. I hope so, at least. Anyway, and yeah, I will catch you for the next video, which I'm you know, not sure what's going to be, but I will upload something at some point. So yeah, be surprised, I guess. Bye bye.